Have you ever wondered how the Western Front of World War II unfolded, shaping the course of history? Let's delve into this momentous period. The year was 1939, the 1st of September to be exact, when the tides of peace receded abruptly. Germany, under the iron fist of the Third Reich, launched an invasion into the unsuspecting nation of Poland. This act of aggression marked the ignition of the Second World War, a conflict that would ripple across the globe. From this point, we transition into what has been dubbed the Phony War. This period, spanning from September 1939 to April 1940, was characterized by a peculiar calm in Western Europe. Despite the declaration of war, there were few military operations on the Western Front. It was the calm before the storm, the deep breath before the plunge. The stage was set, the players were ready, and the world held its breath as the conflict escalated. As the war progressed, the Western Front became a theater of monumental battles. The German military machine, fueled by the strategy of blitzkrieg or lightning war, was a force of relentless and rapid destruction. This tactic, marked by speed and surprise, led to the swift fall of France by June 1940. In a stunning 6 weeks, the Germans managed to bypass the heavily fortified Maginot Line, sweeping through the Low Countries and into northern France. The French and British forces were outmaneuvered and overwhelmed, resulting in a mass evacuation at Dunkirk and ultimately the capitulation of France. This victory left Germany in control of Western Europe, a formidable adversary that seemed unstoppable. Yet, the Battle of Britain that followed marked a significant turning point. For the first time, the German advance was halted. The British Royal Air Force, or RAF, successfully defended their homeland against the German Luftwaffe. Despite facing a numerically superior enemy, they proved that air superiority alone was not enough to secure victory. Britain remained a bastion of resistance, a beacon of hope in the face of the encroaching darkness. Then, in December 1941, the landscape of the war changed dramatically. The bombing of Pearl Harbor by the Japanese led to the United States' entry into the conflict. This was a pivotal moment on the Western Front. The United States, with its vast resources and industrial might, bolstered the beleaguered Allies. They provided much-needed manpower, equipment, and a renewed sense of purpose. The balance of power was slowly shifting. Yet, this was not an immediate panacea. The United States had to mobilize its forces, a process that took time. The Allies had to learn to coordinate their efforts, a task fraught with challenges, and the Germans, still powerful and entrenched, were far from defeated. The stage was set for some of the most brutal and decisive battles of the war. The tide of war was beginning to turn, but the road to victory was far from smooth. The final years of war on the Western Front witnessed some of the most decisive battles in history. The turning point came with D-Day, on June 6, 1944. Known as Operation Overlord, it was the largest amphibious invasion in history. Thousands of troops from the United States, Britain, Canada, and other allied nations stormed the beaches of Normandy, France. The invasion marked the beginning of the end for Germany, breaking Hitler's Atlantic Wall and establishing a Western Front. Yet the German forces weren't defeated easily. In a desperate bid to turn the tides, they launched their last major offensive on the Western Front in December 1944, known as the Battle of the Bulge. Despite initial successes, the German forces were pushed back, and the Allies regained the momentum. The battle was a testament to the resilience and determination of the Allied forces, who stood firm against the bitter cold and a formidable enemy. As the Allies advanced, they moved ever closer to the heart of the Third Reich. By April 1945, they had reached Berlin. The city was under siege, and the German defense was crumbling. On May 7th, Germany officially surrendered, bringing an end to the war in Europe. The victory, however, came at a great cost. Millions of lives were lost, cities lay in ruins, and nations were left in economic turmoil. The aftermath of the war was a period of reconstruction and reflection. New alliances were formed, and old ones were tested.